Hello, this is Andrew, and this is a Specialized Fact carbon lightweight saddle. But actually that's a lie. This is it's actually a knockoff that I got off of eBay for about $20, shipped here from somewhere in China. And it's actually, this here is actually a real version of this saddle, but it has the padding where, you know, this one doesn't. And there are a few differences besides the padding. Actually, this one's a bit roughed up, just so full disclosure. This was on my bike when I crashed it. So this one is not in the best shape, but it's a viable stand-in for the saddle as it is intended to be. I ended up replacing it with a real version, but I saw this one on eBay a few weeks ago, and for 20 bucks, I figured it was worth a shot to see how different it was from the real thing. So as you can see, they are very, very similar. They both have the same basic geometry. Obviously, this one has padding, this one doesn't. They do sell versions of this on eBay that have the padding. I just didn't opt to get one of them. There are a few differences, though. Like, you can see that the font here is different, and if you look here side to side, see it starts 1 to or 0 to 5 here. But then if you flip them over, this one maybe it's a little bit hard to see. Let me kind of come in here a little bit closer. It's opposite on the fake one versus here. It's consistent side to side on the real one, and this is flipped around on the fake one. You can see it, like, there's a little difference in the color here versus there. The size is different, and then also this has the Specialized logo here, but this one doesn't. Otherwise, they are very, very similar in appearance. So let's just get a quick weight just to kind of compare that bit. So the fake one here is 116.6, which is very light. And the real one here, which will be more because it has the padding, is 122. So, you know, I could try to strip the padding all the way off here if I wanted to, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one yet. There are some differences structurally as well. Now, I haven't mounted this yet, so I don't know if it matters yet, but it is a lot more rigid. You can kind of, hopefully you can hear the difference when I tap it, the fake one versus the real one. And if you can compress them down, you can see the one on the real one actually has quite a bit more flex to the saddle, and it's maybe a little bit hard to see on video because it may appear that the flex is coming from the padding when it's not. It's actually coming from the carbon, and that carbon flex in here is what makes this saddle, I mean, it probably looks not that comfortable, but it is one of the most comfortable saddles that I've ridden. And I don't think that the padding makes a difference. The padding probably helps you stay in place a little bit easier than when there isn't padding, because this is kind of a slippery surface, but there are ways to fix that. But there's a lot of compliance in the carbon here that doesn't appear to be in this one. Like, I can't make it move hardly at all. That said, I'm not sure that I'm not sure if that assertion on my part is true or just, you know, misguided. So that's one of the things I wanted to test with these, and so that's the next step, is to kind of put it on a bike. I'm going to start with my the bike I have on my trainer, just in case there's a problem with it, and ride it and see what happens.
So, final thoughts time with our fake Specialized carbon saddle. The most obviously compelling thing about it is the price. It is very cheap at around $20. There's some trade-offs involved in that, but $20 for a full carbon saddle that is very, very light. It would next to you would expect to pay 5 to 10 times more than that for a saddle that weighs this much with the specification from a named manufacturer. But there are trade-offs involved in that price, and you may notice that I didn't say it was a good value. One of those trade-offs, and the most unconcerning, is that it is a little bit slippery when you first start riding. Some of this I could have mitigated by getting one with the cover on it. But I really didn't find this to be a major concern. Once your body heats up and you start sweating, the slipperiness of it just goes away, and it's just a saddle like any other saddle. The geometry of the saddle is very good, at least for me, and saddles are personal items. The geometry of a saddle that I like might not work for you, but the geometry of the saddle matches the Specialized geometry, and I like that. So for rides that were up to an hour, I didn't have any problems with it. But the lack of flexibility and compliance in the saddle, it does take a toll. And you do feel it even at rides less than an hour. Just that it doesn't cross over that threshold into a place where it's uncomfortable to ride. And I apologize for the butt shots here, but I is the only way I could think of to kind of demonstrate what's going on. And I talked a little bit about this in the unboxing, but I think it's better to show it than just to kind of talk about it. So again, I apologize, but here we go. In the top left, we have the fake Specialized saddle, and in the bottom right, we have the one that I damaged. And it is a little bit difficult to see, but I tried to point it out with some arrows. There's no flex, no compliance in the fake saddle, where there's a little bit in the Specialized one. And obviously, you don't want it to be like you're riding on springs, otherwise you'd have a completely different saddle than this in the first place. But that little bit of just that give, it is the difference. And it's something that is worth paying for, in my opinion. And so I don't think that this saddle presents good value for money, because I would happily pay the $100 or $150 more for the real saddle, because it is just so much more comfortable. Like I can ride the real saddle for hours and hours and hours, but with the fake one, around like anything over an hour, it starts to add up, and then once you get over 2 hours, it's just not a great experience at all. Yeah, so that's pretty much all there is to it. This is a case of you get what you pay for. Unfortunately, though, Specialized doesn't make the saddle that I like, the full carbon one that I showed here anymore. So they are difficult to find. I had to get the first one I got, the one that I showed here in the video, I imported from Israel. And then the one I replaced that one with, I was able to get it from the UK. So they're out there, but they are a little bit hard to find, which is unfortunate. I wish that they were much easier to find than that. I hope you found this video useful. I certainly learned a lot in the experience. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will answer them as quickly and as best as I can. Thanks for watching. Cheers.